Hi guys, welcome to this week's AMA. We're going to give you a recap of everything that's been happening in the project over the last 7 days. And as you guys know, the developers are working quite hard on some of the things to be released, and there's other strategic partnership, etc. work ongoing. So I'm going to hand it over to Herman now.
All right, thank you, Owen. Let's see, what do we have this week? The recent Bitcoin uptrend is something we've been observing closely. We will mature a strategy in response to whatever it's trying to signal in the next few days and try to implement this strategy promptly. I think the next logical steps forward would be getting the trading facilities up to speed again. Our trading pairs still are on the now defunct BUSD stablecoin. We do need to switch them over to USDT. The bridge is incomplete. This has now been a matter of several weeks. The reason why I try not to disclose the reason of the delay is that it really is a mundane and easily fixed issue that I shouldn't bore you with and you shouldn't be concerned with at all, but it has affected our ability to launch it. Initially, we are hoping that one of our core developers and my co-founder Boer would have been able to address it, but he hasn't. It is now a matter of hours. I know I said this last week, but I have code right in front of my face that I've been working on the past few hours myself in collaboration with our team, and sorted this final few roadblocks, which mostly are about connectivity. It's something very mundane. The bridge will also be fully functioning in both routes. So both to bridge Cherry into the Cherry network and to bridge it out onto the Polygon and BNB networks. We will accompany this release of the bridge as well as the variation of our liquidity pools with some attention on liquidity and market participation. We will try to maneuver the best we can trading activity, control inflows and outflows, perhaps partake actively in the sustainment or containment of the cherry price in a period of excessive volatility given to a lack of liquidity, or perhaps an excess of liquidity in both cases. In the first case, by the switching of the liquidity pools from USD to USDT, and the second case, by opening up the inverse route to the general public. And we do expect to see a degree of inflows and outflows, perhaps at the initial period, more outflows than inflows, that could also affect liquidity standings on our liquidity pools. But more broadly, it is an effort to try and prepare Cherry Network, not just technically, but also signaling-wise to traders, more short-term operators, that may see our market that's grounded on true value, on foundational research and development that we as a team have continued to make over the past 2 years, despite the lack of resources, despite the lack of interest in the industry. And along with, of course, the support of our token holders and our community and our validators, we can maybe all work up together, both tactically assigning liquidity and adjusting liquidity levels, tactically doing so not just to sustain the token price in a period of technical transition, but also of market transition, as we're seeing variation in trading patterns to attract not just foundational investors, but also traders, and ultimately to garner the momentum that the Cherry project truly deserves. So all that's the plan, however vague. The exact details as to how, those are in the works, but we are closely watching the movements, I don't know how else to call them, in this space, seeing how we can leverage our position, our standing now, our upcoming technical events such as the bridge release and liquidity pool conversion for the benefit of our long-term holders network, and to attract the attention Cherry truly deserves. With that, I thank you. I'll talk to you next week. I really look forward to getting this bridge released. I'm aware it is a matter of now a top concern across the community, and I truly hope to get this delivered by tomorrow night. I wouldn't see why we won't be able. It really is a mundane issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Herman. It's quite good news as well for the community. For the community to see those things being delivered. We knew they were in the pipeline for a while, and of course there will always be at times certain things that need to be double and triple checked from a development perspective, because Cherry being a decentralized project, once mistakes are made, and thankfully we are a project that hasn't had to deal with such mistakes, or breaches or leaks or whatever, and so we want to keep it that way, and that is why the developers are being extra careful about some of these things, even the more mundane things like connectivity that Herman mentioned. Once that is out, as I mentioned, and someone asked about in the chat, I think yesterday, the day before, we're going to push out and expand and make more active Cherry on all social channels. And I'm just sorting out the Twitter for and the Twitter permissions and stuff like that, so we can really make a run of it, especially when the bridge is released, and some of the technical achievements that are upcoming that Herman has mentioned. Aside from that, we will be talking in the next couple of weeks about some of the events that are ongoing. We have, of course, Web Summit coming up. We'll have a much more limited presence there because everybody's quite busy. I'll be there myself. I'll try and create some good representation for Cherry there. Maybe more muted compared to last year, but certainly something that we can benefit from, because it is one of the biggest tech conferences in the world. Still, despite all the turbulence that's been ongoing at their conference, it still will be a major event. And aside from that, we're going to push on with increasing our communications in terms of newsletters, in terms of collaborating, hopefully, with some of the people that have pushed Cherry forward in the past, in terms of key opinion leaders and stuff like that. And of course, there are other things such as website, etc., that have to be updated. And the developers have, of course, been very, very busy with these. Quite technical, as Herman mentioned. It's a research problem more than just a development problem. These things that are being done by the uh, developer team are quite difficult and very conceptual issues that really go to the heart of newer concepts in cryptography, etc. So while that has been the focus in recent months, now we can kind of expand a little bit, hopefully, um, which goes to what Herman said at the start of the call. Hopefully, we see some sort of market uptick. But again, we're not focused or tied to that. We need to have a more robust approach to what's going on as a future of the project that isn't completely contingent on market dynamics, although the market dynamics can affect us, of course, as they have in recent times, and hopefully as they will positively in the near future. But again, we're not reliant on that. We're reliant on building important products that we are quite confident and our major investors are quite confident will thrive on the market. And we're just looking forward to releasing them and then pushing them out and then doing the kind of business development behind those. So thank you all for tuning in. John is going to administer the quiz. I have to catch up with it with some quiz winners as well from previous weeks, but I'll be able to do that now that things hopefully will we'll have more time to look at those kind of things as well in the near future. Thank you all for tuning in. Any questions, as always, just drop them in the Telegram chat or on Discord or wherever. You can DM me on Discord or Telegram either. If you'd like more of an in-depth discussion of anything. And we will be talking to you over the next, as Herman said, hours. We'll be releasing things and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Thank you for your continued support and have a nice day.